My friends and I are in the middle of filming Antupia, which is a sequel to the coming of age movie about an ant that turns into a bee called Antopia. Uh, and yeah, I'm making this video primarily right now, not to uh, say good things about it, but all, but just to kind of vent a few of my concerns creatively about the whole process. It is an endeavor that is, the deeper we get into it, the more I am filled with a sense of cringe. When we filmed Antopia, we were 21, 22. We're already kind of, it felt like in our heads on the older side for doing this kind of thing, dressing up in bee costumes and ant costumes, and just, it was basically the whole thing was kind of a shit post, but the whole thing was also meant to have a point, and meant to kind of have a heart in it. Like so, it wasn't meant to be like a soulless nihilistic shit post. It was meant to be a stylistic shit post, but with an ethos under it. And same thing with Antupia, right? And so I know that once we finish Antupia, that the whole that it's gonna be considered an okay movie or a decent movie with a point. Like you'll watch it and you'll find it funny, or you'll find it meaningful to some extent. But stylistically, the whole movie surrounds us, who are 28-year-old predominantly men, with like some of us have beards, and we're just like dressed up in ant and bee and moth costumes, just wandering around. So far, we've done all our filming in front of our green screen, but we have scenes coming up that involve us being in front of, or scenes that involve us going outside and filming in public. And last night I was thinking about it, and I couldn't sleep for a while because I was just filled with a sense of cringe about what's going on. It's not as if Antopia is particularly successful, anyways. It's just kind of I think the people that do like it a lot. And I feel like Antopia is more of just a beyond the movie itself. It's just a nice way to collaborate with friends and kind of get a community thing going. Yeah, I don't know. I just I know that, and I know that once we film it, once we push through, it'll be worth it, hopefully. But there's always a risk it doesn't. But I know that the attempt is always worth it. It's always worth pushing through, even if it's cringe, even if it's whatever. Just kind of it's just close your nose. If you're walking through, if you're like Andy Dufresne in Shawshank Redemption, just brace yourself, close your nose, take a huge breath of air before you go in, and just do it, and just kind of dissociate while you do it, maybe, just for the cringe parts. But at the end of the day, you have to push through, and you have to do it. You have to finish what you started. So yeah, that's how I feel. And I've shown some clips. I've already edited some scenes, not fully, but I've put together some clips, and I've showed them to people. I had a friend who was shaking his head, and he was saying this is like unbelievably bad. So, and I knew that stylistically maybe he was like, oh, okay, this is really bad or whatever. But I knew that it had to. There was context around it. You need to watch the whole thing to actually understand whatever. But even then, it's with a movie of substance like that isn't I'm gonna be sensitive to anything surrounding that, and that's why I'm making this video, because there's gonna be lulls in the process, but you just got to push through them. There's gonna be moments where you don't believe in yourself, or moments where you're gonna be like what am I doing? This is like the worst thing I've ever done in my life. But it's gonna be worth it. We felt that way for Antopia, and we made the thing. And I think to this day, I watch it and I think I'm pretty proud of it. It has moments taken in isolation that are cringe, but if you watch the whole thing, it's better. So yeah, that's it.